Hi, I'm Heather with Going Batty, and today I'm going to show you how to make a healthy chicken lo mein stir fry. So the Going Batty clan is on a mission to start eating healthier. And one of the things that we have found is that we believe that my husband has eczema, and we think that it may be caused by his gluten intake. So we're trying to cut back on that. And here's the thing, I don't like gluten-free pasta. I think it tastes like wallpaper paste. But so we're going to try something different. We're actually going to make what are called zoodles, which you take zucchini and make noodles out of them. And we're going to stir fry that together with some chicken and a bunch of other vegetables and see what we come up with. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make my zoodles. And I got this thing here. It comes from this company. If you can see it, the Veggies company are the people that make it. And it is just a little hand spiralizer. And it has a thick side here and a thin side here. And I think I'm going to do the thicker side for our zoodles. So I'm going to show you how, now this is my first time doing this, so I'm going to show you how this works. Then you get down to the very end and you stick this little thing in so you don't, zoodle your fingers. This is what I have. That looks pretty good. Those are our zoodles. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up some asparagus. Now here's a fun tip. If you buy a bunch of asparagus and it comes with 2 rubber bands, I took 1 rubber band off, leave this one on, and then take one of your pieces, and wherever that breaks, that's where you cut off the rest of your asparagus. And these ends you can save for like vegetable stock if you want to, and put them in vegetable stock. I'm just going to go ahead and put these in my compost bucket. And then now all the tough ends have been cut off your asparagus. So we're going to go ahead and take the rubber band off of here, and we're going to cut these into bite-sized pieces. Just like that. All right, so I don't know if this is true or not, but I was told that a lot of the carrot's nutrients is in its peel. I never peel my carrots. I just wash them really well. And then I'm going to just cut off the ends of them. And I'm going to do it at an angle because I'm going to show you how you can make julienne just by cutting it this way. You're going to cut it at a diagonal. And then you're going to see how they're laid out like this. You're just going to kind of scoot them out. Kind of like that. And now you're just going to run your knife long ways through them. So as they're going up and down, and see, those are all in like little matchsticks, kind of julienne. So I'm gonna finish doing this carrot, put it in a bowl, and then we'll move on to our next vegetable. I already had some red peppers left over from the other night, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put that in our stir fry, so we have something that's very colorful. And then the last thing that I'm going to chop up is cauliflower. We're going to put cauliflower in our stir fry. So here's an easy way to take the core out of your cauliflower. I cut it in half, and then I cut it in quarters. Now I'm just going to leave it like that with the leaves on and everything, and I'm just going to cut it at a slant like that. And that takes your core right out of your cauliflower, and your leaves will come right off of it. And then now we're just going to slice this up. All right, so one thing I can't stress enough when you're doing stir fry is you need to have everything prepped ahead of time. So these were frozen, so I de-thawed these. You need to make sure that all the water is out of them. But I didn't have any fresh, so I used frozen. So we're gonna put those with our other vegetables, and then we are going to make our sauce. Now, I like doing mine in a mason jar because I can slap a lid on it and shake it up real well. So we're gonna start with, this is tamari soy sauce, and it's gluten-free. So that's why I got this one. We're gonna put some soy sauce in here. Then we're gonna put in some sesame oil. And you can put in fresh garlic, but fresh garlic sometimes has a tendency to burn at really high temperatures. So I will use garlic powder instead. And then I'm gonna use some ginger because I don't have any fresh ginger to grate. And then we're gonna use a little bit of hot pepper flakes. Not a lot, just a little. I'm gonna use some pure cane sugar in this. And then we're gonna put some cornstarch in it too to thicken it up as it cooks. Now you don't wanna ever add cornstarch in something that's hot. You always wanna put it in a cold liquid because if you put it in something hot, it will seize up and you will have clumps of cornstarch. So we're gonna put our jar up, make sure you have this lid on tightly, and then we're just gonna shake it up. So now all of this stuff is ready, and I'm gonna take it over to my stove and line it up. I am now going to slice up my chicken. Now in here, when I got my chicken breast from our local meat place over at East Dayton Meat and Poultry, I butterflied these chicken breasts. I cut them in half, and now I am going to cut these into really thin slices. But what I also did before, now these were frozen, before I froze them, is I went ahead and put them in the marinade and then put them in the freezer. So, and that makes it just makes it easier. There's less time that it has to marinate. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this into real thin pieces. We have moved over to our stove. I have a pan here. Now you don't have to have a wok to do stir fry, but what you wanna do is get this pan screaming hot. The other thing I did is this bowl held my chicken and I washed it out real well with hot soapy water, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this into here, and then when it's done cooking, put it into there. But you're gonna need a oil that can take a high temperature. So like a peanut oil or like a vegetable oil, because what you're gonna do is get that pan hot. Do not put the oil in first or you will burn it. You're gonna get it hot, you're gonna drop a little oil in it, and then you're gonna put the chicken in right away. So I'll show you. So we're gonna put a little oil in. That pan is super hot. We're gonna pick it up and just kind of move it around. And if you look at it, it'll look almost like raindrops in there, and the pan will smoke a little bit. So immediately you're gonna put your chicken in there. And you're just gonna move it around a little bit. So it's not all clumped up on each other. And then if you have to, turn your heat down just a little bit. And then you're just gonna kind of keep stirring it around, okay? I'm gonna turn my heat down a little bit. All right. So this is almost cooked all the way. So we're gonna start pulling this out and putting it in here. And then we're gonna do our next batch of chicken. All right, so we're gonna put our next batch of chicken in. We are back here at our stove, and I put a touch more oil in there, and we are gonna start with the things that are gonna take the longest to cook. So we're gonna start with our carrots and our cauliflower, and we're gonna stir fry those for a little bit. Then we're gonna add in our asparagus. I'm gonna add in our asparagus. And let this cook for a few minutes. Now the next thing we're gonna do is, you didn't see me cut this up, but I decided at the last minute I wanted to add some red onion for some color. So we're gonna throw those in there. Along with our red onion, we're gonna go ahead and add our bell peppers and our red bell peppers. All right, so now we're gonna add in our green beans. And my problem is that my pan may not actually be big enough for all this. And then the last thing to go in is our broccoli. Just cook until the vegetables are just a little bit cooked. They're still kind of crisp. And that actually is not the last vegetable we're gonna add in. We still already have our zoodles that we have to add in. All right, so here are our zoodles, and we're gonna go ahead and add those in. Now what may have to happen is I may have to mix this up, and then I may have to separate it into 2 different pans because I have a lot of this, and then we'll add our chicken back in. All right, so we got 2 pans going now because there was just not enough room in one. So we're going to get these just a little bit, still crisp, but just a little bit tender. And then we're gonna add our chicken back into it. All right, these are ready to go. And we're gonna put half of our chicken in this one. And some of that lovely juice. And then our other half of our chicken into this one. And we're gonna mix these up. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna give this a really good shake. I'm gonna pour half of it into here and half of it into there. Now with that cornstarch in it, it will thicken up after it's heated. So that's why cornstarch you always wanna put in a cold liquid. Flour you can put in a hot fat, and that's how you get gravy. And let it cook till the sauce thickens, which will not take very long. So that is our chicken lo mein made with zoodles, no noodles. So Max is gonna be my guinea pig and he's going to test it. Get some of all that stuff.
No, it's really good. The zoodles actually taste like real noodles, actually.
So
really good.
That is our healthy recipe that we did. So make sure you like and subscribe, leave your comments down below, check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and more updates as we go. Bye. Here, you can have that for dinner.